Everybody, Jeff, your executive gardener. Hope you're doing great. I've taken a little bit of a break like I promised, and hope everybody's having a great summer. So it's the last week in July here in Houston, Texas, and as you can see, I'm coming from my office. Now I'm very excited because I'm starting a ton of seeds, and some of the seeds that I gave away to people I'm starting on my own. But as we all know, and I've talked about in previous videos, in Houston, Texas, the garden's over. Other than okra, watermelon, and a few things that love the heat, all the other things are pretty much shut down. I'm getting ready. I'm starting my seeds inside for my fall garden. It is currently 150 degrees outside in Houston, Texas. So I'm going to make this video inside. I'm just kidding. It is almost 100 degrees and 100% humidity, so nothing, including me, does well outside. So this video is going to be about what I personally learned from gardening and what you can take back and teach yourself, myself included, in your work life and your personal life. So it's what gardening can teach you, how you can relate to gardening and apply it to your personal life, if you're busy, or in your work life. And these are the things that have helped me from gardening. So I get a lot of emails from a lot of people, and I love getting, messages, not emails, about, I'm a busy mom before, or I'm an executive at a bank, and just like you, working as an executive, I need to learn how to get away. And I'm glad I met you through your channel and have corresponded with you, because it's really helped me in these top 10 reasons why I garden that hopefully you can relate and learn from in your personal work life. So let's get started. Number one, what I've learned from gardening is to unplug, to de-stress and recharge. I don't care what age you are, if you work 50 to 60 hours a week, or you take care of your kids 60 hours a week, you're going to break down. Just like a car that you don't keep the engine in tune, the oil changed, the antifreeze, it will break down and you'll be on the side of the road. Now when humans break down, it's a little bit worse, we all know, and it's not a good thing for the family or yourself from a health perspective. So when I garden, I unplug. I do not take my cell phone with me. I do not check messages. I do put light music in my ears, and I enjoy getting my hands in the soil and de-stressing. That's the number one reason. Number two, and it really applies to me, is it teaches you patience. Those that know me, and many people watching this do know me, know I'm a type A++ personality. I'm a hard charger like a lot of you watching. But I can't rush a seedling growing. I can't rush a tomato plant growing. I can't rush a tomato plant from turning green to red. It will turn in its own time. And that's the beautiful thing about nature. So patience is a great thing that I've taken from gardening, and I apply it to my work life and my home life. Number three is it's okay to fail, okay? Most people in business, I'll say, are so afraid of failing that they fail to try. Some of the greatest things that we learn in life, we try, and if it fails, you try a different method. So like my gardening channel, like a lot of you who are watching this channel, you see the good things that happen. And I also share with you some of the bad things that have happened. And if I showed you all the blunders that I had, and all the other people that you watch on YouTube, we have failures, but we adjust our strategy and we move on, okay? So it's okay to fail. That's what I've learned in gardening, as long as you don't hurt somebody else in the process, just like in business. So number four is humility. I learned that. So I thought about this morning. So as I was cleaning up the rest of my summer garden, I'm on my hands and knees. I'm sweating because it's very hot outside. I got dirt everywhere, and I'm doing the weeding. I'm cleaning out the beds, okay? So with the great things that you have, like eating fresh tomatoes and peppers, you're not above or below anything. And that's really important. At my company, I serve in an executive role, and I never ask others to do that I wouldn't do myself, okay? And that's really important. And we've all worked in companies, myself included, where the people above you, as an extreme example, leave and golf at 4 o'clock, and you're left doing the paperwork till 7 o'clock. That's not right. If you're a president of a company or an executive, get your hands dirty, roll up your sleeves. Your people will follow you if you show humility. So in gardening, you're the person that has to do the weeding, you're the person that puts in the fertilizer, you're the person that cleans up the bed at the end of the year. Humility. So number 5 is diversity. Diversity in all parts of life are a great thing. So as an example, when I was growing up as a kid, I had 2 black people, or African American, I don't know what the correct term is, but we'll say African American. I had 2 Asian people in my high school, of a class of 470 people. That's not a good thing. Our world's a very diverse world. My kids go to a school that is about 25, 25, 25. 25% Asian, 25% African American, 25% Hispanic or other, and 25% Caucasian. My kids are growing up in a diverse world, and that's a good thing. Just like in the workplace, diversity is a great thing to get great new ideas. Younger people, older people, people of all cultures make great things. And in gardening, that's the great thing about gardening. You shouldn't just plant things that are for sale at Home Depot or Lowe's, your garden center. Get your own seeds. Figure out what works great in your climate. So sample with 6 or 7 different peppers that you've never tried before. Tomatoes, lettuce. So diversity, value diversity. Number 6, focus on what you can control and ignore what you can't control. So in work, I know all of you are facing this. You'd say, if I only had this, or if I only had that, or if the competitor didn't do this, I would have gotten the sale. We can only control what we can do. In gardening, I can't control how much it rains in Houston, Texas. I can't control whether high winds come along. In the north, you can't control whether you get a late freeze beyond the last frost date. That will impact your whole season, of course, but you control what you can control. Don't stress on the others. Things will work out in the long run. Number 7, you learn to adapt from gardening and adjusting your strategy. So let me give an example. I was a big failure on composting, and the reason I was a big failure on composting is 2 things. I wasn't getting the right blend of nitrogen and carbon, so I kept adjusting the strategy, putting a little bit more carbon, putting a little less nitrogen. In addition, my compost was getting too wet. So in addition to tumbling it in the tumbler, I had to buy a tarp to put over the compost tumbler to avoid as much moisture. So I put more carbon in, I covered it with a tarp, and now I'm making beautiful compost. But you got to adapt and adjust your strategy. In work, I do the same thing. You know, so many times, many of us work for big corporations, and what others above you are telling you should work, or what you've done for 20 years, is not what should be done now. Every company, every industry needs to adjust its strategy. Many people say that Uber ruined the taxi industry. No, it didn't. The taxi industry ruined the taxi industry. Uber was there to adapt a strategy and take advantage of it. So number 7 is adapting strategy. Number 8 is giving to others. This year, as you've watched my previous videos, I had more tomatoes, more peppers, and more cucumbers, my gosh, than I could ever use. So what did I do? I gave it to my neighbors, okay? I gave it to neighbors and they loved it. I gave it to the person who cuts my hair. My kids gave it to their friends, parents, and they loved it. And just like grace, you give it and you don't expect anything in return. And then one day people show up and they say, look, I made a few extra cupcakes, you want some? Or have some figs, which I'm not growing, do you want some? So it's a great way to barter and trade. But just like the workplace or just like in life, give to others. Abundance is okay in gardening, just like abundance in life. Whether it's your money you give away or your time, giving is a great thing. And I've learned that from gardening, and I try to apply it to others in the workplace and my personal life. Number 9 is positive energy. All of us in the workplace are surrounded by, I would say 5 out of 10 people, 4 out of 10, are negative people with negative energy. I don't deal with that. I shut them out, or else they don't work for me or work for my company. Focus on positive energy. Same thing in your personal life. If you belong to a soccer team, your kids belong to a soccer club, and all the parents are negative, get out. Go find some people that are positive. Make it a pleasurable experience. So positive energy. And in gardening, how could you not be positive, okay? You're growing something from a seed that nourishes your body and you enjoy doing, and it de-stresses you and you have fun. So positive energy, that's what I've learned from gardening. And lastly, which I think is the most important, is a big reason other than de-stressing that I got into gardening from my the very beginnings, was happy. It's whatever you do in life, where you work, your family, your friends. Life's too short. Most of us on this earth are only here for 80 years at the most, okay? Maybe 90 years with the future of medicine. Be happy. Life's too short not to enjoy life. In gardening, I enjoy it. It's fun for me. I give food to others. I nourish my family. I experiment with different things, and it's a great time. And I got to tell you, it's not about, in gardening, about the money, or it's not about the performance rating you got. Who cares about all that? Have fun, be happy, and gardening is a great thing for you to do. Whatever you do, whether you're a busy mom, you're a busy executive, you're a busy admin assistant, it doesn't matter. Pick up some seeds, find some fresh soil, and get out there and garden. So those are my top 10 reasons of lessons that I got from gardening that I applied to my personal and my home life. And I hope some of you take it to heart. Some may not apply to you, but if they do, great. That's all I have. Until next time, Jeff, your executive gardener. Make it a good one. Bye.